Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, where we look at the latest comics and other media featuring the Transformers. In this episode, achieving unity for Zerta Trion comes with a heavy cost as we review Skybound's Void Rivals number 23. Today is Friday, October 3rd, 2025, and this is episode 462 of Transmissions Alt Mode.
Welcome to Transmissions Alt Mode, the podcast that makes precise cuts when editing to minimize the amount of time Daryl speaks. I'm your host Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how's it going?
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
I would be upset with that, but you're probably better off on this type of show. Yeah. I should speak less. Let's talk Transformers.
As always, we start the show by thanking our Donatreons, those lovely people who support us on Patreon and PayPal. Thank you all so much for continuing to contribute to the show and help keep this thing going. Of course, as a Donatron, you get lots of bonus perks and things. If you are not a Donatron yet and would like to become one, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/support. You get bonus content like our bonus show, We Like Big Bots. And that's by Daryl and Dr. Pants, talking about some of the biggest bots in their collection. We've got the bonus uncut versions of our Transformers live play RPG podcast, Empire of Rust. And this week is Empire of Rust episode 145, Apocalypse Pow. And that's available for everyone to transmissionspodcast.com/rust. And then this Monday will be the bonus uncut version of episode 146 that will only be available to Donatron. So everyone else will have to wait 2 weeks to hear episode 146 in the free feed. So that's your Patreon perks working for you. And lastly, of course, we've still got our Toy Hacks code for the month of October. That code is SpookyBots. So use that code SpookyBots at toyhacks.com to save 15% off everything in the store, everything on your purchase. So nice little discount there. Win, win, win. Okay, let's get into the show. We've got a comic review. And this week we are reviewing Void Rivals number 23. This is writer Robert Kirkman, artist Connor Hughes, colorist Patricio Del Pesce, letterer Russ Wooten, editor Ben Abernathy, logo and publication design Andre Suarez, and production Ashby Florence. So this is a full spoiler review, so we're going to talk all about Void Rivals number 23. It came out last week, so everyone should have had time to get a copy if you were interested. If you just want to hear our review, that's fine too, but we are going to talk about the whole issue. So here we go. On the Skuxxoid asteroid base, the scarred Skuxxoid, who didn't realize he was a clone and not the original Skuxxoid until recently, wakes up restrained on an operating table. The original Skuxxoid's robot henchman, or henchbot, tells him that he has a dysfunction, so now his only purpose will be division. After years of research, they have refined the number of cuts to make to get the maximum number of Skuxxoid copies from the most efficient cuts. 6 new Skuxxoids per division and 10 divisions before the Skuxxoid host dies. The scarred Skuxxoid protests, but he's ignored. Then the henchbot starts up the surgical equipment, and the Skuxxoid starts screaming. Back on the Sacred Ring, Solila is in ecstasy. She has achieved unity with all the Agorians and Zertonians, and it's glorious. Or not. Every other Agorian and Zertonian is writhing in pain, and tremors are destabilizing the entire Sacred Ring. Even Springer and Hot Rod start to lose their balance, trying to fall gracefully and not crush any of the tiny Agorians or Zertonians under them. The black hole vibrates with energy as a giant mechanical hand starts to emerge. Goliant is awake and starting to escape its prison. Meanwhile, on Quintessa, Pythona and her Cobra-La soldiers start to explore the planet. Pythona gets too close to a nearby body of water, and a giant mechanical squid grabs her with its tentacle. She fights back furiously, even slicing off a robotic tentacle with her claws, but is still caught in its grip. Then a projectile shot from afar shatters the squid's eye, and it immediately releases her and flees into the water. Pythona looks up to see her savior, the Autobot Wheelie. Wheelie greets her with his sing-song rhyming, but she only sees the Autobot symbol on his chest, recognizing it as similar to the one on the robot they had captured in Cobra-La. So she knows he's one of them and her enemy. Later, the scarred Skuxxoid awakens after the surgery. He is little more than a head and upper torso, with tiny arms and legs slowly growing back to replace the ones that were sliced off. He looks down to see all his former body parts on the ground that will be grown into more Skuxxoids. He screams in rage and curses the robot who did this to him, but the robot just ignores him. In Agoria, the fighting has stopped since all Agorians and Zertonians are paralyzed in unity. Solila revels in achieving her goal, but then she sees that tremors are increasing and the sacred ring is starting to fall apart. Derek tells her that whatever is happening is destroying the sacred ring and everyone on it. Solila realizes that Zerta has betrayed the Zertonians and the Agorians. Goliath's escape will mean the destruction of the sacred ring. Proximus rejects what she says, but Solila grabs him and tells him to look around. Unity will release Goliath for Zerta's goal, but it will be the end of the Zertonians and the Argorians. Solila convinces Proximus that Zerta has been lying to them. She urges him to retreat to take all the Zertonian forces away from Agoria before it's too late. Proximus is convinced and orders the retreat. The Zertonians board their ships and leave, stopping Unity. Deep within the sacred ring, Zerta screams in rage. She was so close to reaching her goal, and now her instrument, Solila, has thwarted her. She uses her connection to Solila to call her back to her immediately. In Agoria, Minister Doolin claims victory that the Zertonians were defeated, even though that's not exactly what happened. But still, the danger appears to have passed. Goliath's hand slips back into the black hole and its prison is secure. Hot Rod and Springer decide that maybe they should return to Cybertron after helping the Agorians rebuild the damage from the Zertonians' attack. They can't believe that Zerta Trion would allow destruction of innocent beings in order to further her goals, but Hot Rod reasons that if any bot spent millennia trapped on the sacred ring, maybe they'd go crazy as well. Darak celebrates with the rest of his fighter squadron that they've all survived and the Zertonians have been defeated, but Darak asks where's Solila? None of the Agorians even know who she is, and she's nowhere to be found. Because she is now trapped in the depths of the sacred ring, a prisoner of Zerta for disobeying her. Zerta angrily tells Solila that she has failed in her mission and doomed not only her own people, but everyone in the universe. To be continued. So, this was okay, I guess. I mean, it still feels like there's too many threads going on, and I mean, at least for the Skuxxoid and the Quintesson stuff, I felt like they needed a couple extra pages to flesh those out a little bit but the story inches forward very slowly on each story in each individual book, so that's a little frustrating. The main story with the Agorians and the Zertonians, I thought was interesting that they finally got unity, but even there, it's kind of like, okay, we stopped unity, and we're not Goliath's not going to escape, but that's it. We have to wait till next issue to find out what consequences that has and what Zerta's going to do to Solila. So, yeah, I mean, I still think the pacing for Void Rivals is a little bit off. But I'm still interested in the stories going on and what's going to happen with all the different characters. I mean, I was really annoyed by the Wheelie and Pythona subplot being stopped right where like it looked like something interesting was going to happen. Like we don't even get a like she just says you're one of them, and then that's it. I would have liked just another page to see, is she going to like just immediately attack even though he rescued her, or is there going to be some kind of conversation? But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Uh, the art for me was fine. I mean, not amazing, but it was okay, I guess. I mean, there's only a couple Transformers in the whole comic, so it's mostly just humanoid characters running around. So that was fine, but not outstanding, not skin breaker level art by any means. So, Daryl, what did you think of this book?
Similarly to previous issue, I'm much more interested in the Skuxxoid story than anything else that's going on. But even that had me critiquing it and questioning some of its bits here. I'm looking at one of the pages of art on it, just with him after he'd been sliced and diced, and his arms and legs are starting to grow back. They're growing back with armor on them, so his like clothing or armor is part of him. So that's fun.
Really, he's naked.
Basically that's how it is. He's walking around naked. So yeah, that's something I kind of noticed there. But I mean, I appreciated the part of the story where this robot, this surgical robot, explained that they'd been it's taken many attempts to get the precision of the cuts right, so that they can either not kill the host or get as many Skuxxoids out of a single host as they can. So yeah, I appreciated that. That was a nice little piece to kind of add there. They're getting, like, Robert Kirkman is getting an awful lot out of the Skuxxoid, which is a throwaway character from, like, I think 2 episodes of G1. Like, I think it's ridiculous of how minimal this character was, and he is pulling an awful lot out of this one character, which I think is phenomenal. To the point where I'm only really interested in what's happening with the Skuxxoid out of the Void Rivals book at this point. The part with with Wheelie and Pythona, I could care less. It's one of those. What do you mean one of those? Yeah, that's yeah. But the part about, I mean, I guess what do the wrestling people call it? A heel turn. It's the part with so, you know, yeah. So their Zerta has heel turned on them. So, yeah. I mean, cool. That's a neat little twist.
I mean, I don't necessarily think that she did. I think that maybe, like, Solia doesn't understand the full plan because it hasn't been explained to her. Although, I mean, the plan might also involve the destruction of all the buildings and everyone living on the ring, which also would be horrible.
Sure.
But, yeah, I mean, we don't have enough information.
Yeah, I'm getting very like a lot of like Silver Surfer vibes out of Salila, so that basically she's currently a herald of Zerta, and she's in the stage of I need to do your bidding kind of thing, or else I control you, like Galvatron was in the '86 movie. If I can make a Transformers reference on this Transformers podcast. But I think in a very short time or long time, if it's, this is a Kirkman comic, that Salila will find that she is much stronger than she is, or that she thinks she is. And
more than meets the eye.
Wow. That's my level of, anyway, yeah, exactly. And then she's going to kick Zerta's ass. So yeah, that's basically where I think this is kind of going. But anyway, it's fine. I did not like the art. I thought the art was horrible. But yeah, I mean, like I said, came to this book just after reading Skinbreaker, which I talked on the previous episode of being an absolute masterpiece as far as art goes. So, yeah, most things would look like absolute dog shit after reading Skinbreaker. So it wasn't really a fair fight.
All right, Jeremy, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I agree with a lot of what you and Daryl said. The pacing was, I mean, for the main A plot, it was fine, but as the series overall, I mean, I say this every time. There's too many storylines, so you're not getting enough meat on the bone on the secondary storylines. I mean, I'm interested in the Cobra-La storyline and the Skuxxoid storyline. We're not getting enough here, and I understand the Agorian, that is the main storyline of the whole series, but just having too many plates spinning at once. We need, it's like this book needs a few more pages in it to give some of those other stories justice. I do like the coloring in this book. I liked how you can tell like the Skuxxoid pages dark, you're in space, but then you go to the Sacred Ring part and it's like almost bleached out because of it's showing the light of the Unity thing, and then when it jumps to space with the hand coming out, that's darker. I feel like the colorist, I can't remember who did the colors on this, but Patricio DePesce. Yeah, a great job. I feel like the colors did a lot of heavy lifting, saving the art on this. The art was passable, but I looked and I counted 4 or 5 closed mouths in the whole book. Every other mouth was in either open or grimacing, or once I started seeing it, I couldn't stop seeing it, especially like the kind of freaky smile that all the Transformer characters have. It's just, I don't know. I can't get past that one little bit. And there's a panel where like Hot Rod and Springer are talking. They're like in the middle, the hand has receded, and Springer's like has this really weird like lip expression as he's like got his hand on his chin. And I don't know, the art's like 70% there. It's just like this last little bit that gets me. And I guess the last thing was we've got some tiny characterization on the rest of Derek Squadron. Just a little tiny bit, just a couple panels, but I don't know if we've gotten more than that ever in the whole series. So that was interesting. So on the Zerta Prime stuff, I do think there is more to her plan, and it might be that her plan seems like it's the best plan for the universe, but it'll destroy the Sacred Ring or something. And I could see Derek Solia and Hot Rod and Springer teaming up to save the day, figure everything out. So that's my thoughts. Also, they were practically begging for more people to write in, because in here Kirkman was like, "I've never had a book selling this well and had so few people writing in." So, send your comments and questions into the book, and maybe they'll publish it.
voidrivals@skybound.com. That's the email address you can send. All right. Well, that's our review of Void Rivals number 23. Let's move on to some media news.
All right, in media news this week, remember Mystery of Convoy? That damn near impossible video game that was released for the Super Famicom.
Just the regular Famicom.
Oh, you're right. Famicom. The Super Famicom was the Super Nintendo. The Famicom was just the NES. Anyway, so it was a 2D platformer video game from 1986 that basically was damn near impossible to beat. It is by far one of the hardest video games ever made. So anyway, if you've never heard of it, you should check it out. If you have heard of it, you can buy merch. Or you could have bought merch. There was a booth at the Tokyo Game Show on September the 25th that sold a bunch of Mystery of Convoy merch. There were some shirts, some hats, a pin, a wallet, all kinds of crazy crap. And so you could check that out here. It was a bunch of different stuff. Anyway, if you haven't had a chance to play a Mystery of Convoy as a Transformers fan, you need to check it out. I know that there's a bunch of ROMs for it out there. So, yeah, go check it out. Next up, Transformers Cyber World, episodes 8 and 9. Oh, they're available online. These things are coming out crazy fast now. So fast. So yeah, if you want to watch all 9 episodes, that's 1 through 9, it'll take you 44 minutes and you'll be all caught up. So that's fun.
They're still once a week. They're not that crazy fast.
It's crazy fast, Charles. It's crazy fast. And lastly, Tyrese Gibson was asked at the, I believe it was the Stranger Things premiere. I think that's where he was. Just reading that here. Yeah, I think he was at the Stranger Things premiere. And he was asked about if he would be up for returning to the role of what was his, Sergeant Robert Epps. And he said, I was just on the phone with Michael Bay last week, so it's all I can tell you. And either he's putting everyone on, or he's might be coming back. By
the way, he was at the Strangers Chapter 2 premiere, not Stranger. It's not Stranger Things.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I have no idea what that movie is, but it's not the Netflix show.
The Strangers, Chapter 2. Gotcha. I'm assuming it's a sequel to The Strangers.
Chapter 1.
It's a good guess.
Yep. But anyway, this is following on the other two rumors that we had. One being Michael Bay was possibly returning to the director's chair, and two, that Josh Duhamel would be interested in returning to the part of William Lennox. All of these kind of stories are, I hate them. They're BS news, but whatever. When they make a casting announcement, then let's talk about that. This is just like, yeah.
I will say, I feel like Tyrese is one of the highlights of the movies he was in.
Oh, like,
yeah. One of the best characters, I feel like. And at BotCon 2012, which was in Anaheim, he came on stage for something during the Hall of Fame thing and genuinely seemed excited about being in Transformers and stuff. So if we had a movie with just he was the human character, I would be completely on board. I mean, just I love his energy. He was a lot of fun. So, I'm happy with him. Everyone else can just, go away. Let's just have him and a Transformers character, a buddy cop movie. Like him and Hound. How about that? Him and Hound, buddy cop movie. That'll be fun.
Movie Hound?
No, G1, the Jeep. Sorry, I forget that there was,
right.
It's just complete reboot. Yeah, just
Tyrese, reboot it.
Different character and
right. Anyway, I agree with you about him. He was a standout character. I liked him a lot. Brought a lot of comedic energy as well, which was fun. So, yeah. If he is returning, great. If he's not, great. It's fine. It doesn't matter. Just, I want to know about, like, casting. Like, when there's actually a casting announcement. Don't give me all this rumors bullshit stuff. I don't care. Hard facts, people. Hard facts. I want to know hard facts.
All right. Well, a hard fact is that's the end of the media news segment. So let's move on to convention news.
That was a good one.
All right. We have a few more TFCon Chicago announcements. TFCon Chicago is October 24th through 26th at the Crown Plaza Chicago O'Hare Hotel and Conference Center. And we have this first guest is Ralph Macchio, but not that Ralph Macchio. Not the karate one. No. This is the writer of issue 1 of the 4-part miniseries, The Transformers from Marvel Comics back in the 80s. And also the Transformers the movie comic adaptation. So, I believe it is his first Transformers convention. I'm not, didn't see if it doesn't say this. Usually it does say that, but I don't see his name. Like, we've been doing this a long time. I don't remember seeing his name.
I've never seen it on one of these lists before, but that doesn't mean he never went to a BotCon or something like that.
Yeah. He might have done a BotCon. But anyway, awesome seeing him there. I'm wondering how many questions he's going to get about Karate Kid. I'm sure he gets them at every convention, and I'm sure it pisses him off, but it was confusing to me as a kid. Next up, we have Dick Terhune, the voice of Prowl McAdam and the Quintesson scientist in Cyberverse. And that's awesome getting another more recent voice actor. So I'm not sure. Let's see. Doesn't say what else he's been in, but I'm sure there's going to be a Cyberverse panel, and he's going to be talking and also doing signings and stuff. And then another Cyberverse actor is Travis Arts, who is the voice of Hot Rod. So check all those voice actors out. And I think the last thing we have here is I think we're done. I think we're done. Oh no, sorry. TF Nation has a friend of the show, John Paul Beauvais, the colorist with a U, and he's going to be there. Although I noticed here they have let me make this a little bigger. They have 2 eyes in join here. I don't know if that's in joke or a typo. But he's
special UK spelling.
Yeah, join. But anyway, done coloring for tons of IDW stuff, as well as the Transformers stamps that came out a few years back from the Royal Mail in the UK. So he will be there at TFCon Minicon Reading, which is November 22nd. So if you are going, tell him we say hi. We miss him. It's been too long since he's been on the show.
Mm-hmm.
So
yep.
It's just hard for the people in the UK that have to stay up really, really late. But anyway, that's all we got for convention news.
All right. Well, that takes us to the end of this episode of Transmissions Alt Mode. So thanks, everyone, for watching and listening. What did you think of Void Rivals? If you have thoughts, maybe send in your comments, send a voicemail, write us an email, or just comment on social media or on YouTube. Let us know what you thought. And we will talk about it next time. So that's it for this week's Transmissions Alt Mode. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, wait. Sorry. No, I got to give a shout out to our Masterpiece Donatreons. I almost forgot. Because the Masterpiece Donatreons are very important because they give us the highest contribution on Patreon, and that's why they get a mention in every episode. Almost every episode, except when I forget. But I didn't forget this time. So thank you once again to John Forks Levengood and Steve C. You guys are awesome, and we really appreciate you. Now we can end the show. So thank you to our Masterpiece Donatrons. Thank you to all our Donatrons, and thank you to all our listeners and watchers and everyone. So we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Later.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Transmissions. If you'd like to join the conversation, travel to our Discord channel at transmissionspodcast.com/Discord. Want some cool transmission swag? Feast your eyes on our transmissions gear at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. If you'd like to support our podcast, go to transmissionspodcast.com/support or tell your friends about our show. We'll see you next time.